Hello there, Vanessa. Okay, fantastic for getting the work done and sending it in. One thing, while I remember, the next essays you probably need to edit them. Edit them so they are 260 words long. Okay, this way you're not going to go over the word limit, because as it stands, both of these essays are way over the word limit. Okay. So remember, 260 words. Let's go. Children tend to adopt more useful skills and boost their imagination through dynamic and creative activities than reading. Good. I believe that interests that allow children to be actively involved and express themselves will indeed contribute more to their development. Good. This essay will analyse both issues and choose examples from everyday life to demonstrate points and support arguments. Wow, what a really good start. I can tell immediately that it looks like I will be improving your essays rather than correcting them. So that's a great step. That's a great start. Firstly, energy intensive activities is better, especially those that can help children show off to their parents are ideal for learning skills. Good. Reading cannot provide that dimension of learning. Good. This is because children are full of energy and always in pursuit to impress. Okay, in pursuit. Taking dance lessons can enhance their coordination and fine motor skills, and at the same time boost their self-esteem. For example, a study conducted by Oxford University in 2010, found that pupils who were taking dance lessons along with academic subjects performed much better in motor skill assessments required by some universities than those who did not take them. Genius! Therefore, it is clear that such a dynamic activity can award children with various benefits that reading cannot. Good. Fantastic work, Vanessa. What a genius start. However, how can we say the same with less? So let's see. We could say, firstly, physical activities. Physical activities are ideal for learning skills, reading cannot provide this dimension of learning. Okay, what I'm trying to do is just delete words or phrases, okay, that are not essential to the essay, to the task response, because remember, like I said at the beginning, we've got to reduce the word count drastically. Okay. Secondly, a challenge to create something is very stimulating. Children are passive when they read, and although it can help develop their imagination, active involvement is a much more interesting way of learning. Way is singular. Is a much more interesting way of learning. This is due to the fact that children are often impressed by the idea of creation, cannot be more proud when they create something with their own hands. Okay, so if we're going back to what I was saying before about just including the essential, we'd probably delete this little phrase. Although it's really good, it's not necessary for task response, and we just need to focus on task response and shorter paragraphs. Okay, through drawing and painting, children can easily express themselves in a creative way and be impressed by their accomplishments. Good. For instance, William Archer, Nobel Prize winner for literature, wrote in his biography that as a child he found reading boring but enjoyed drawing, and the idea of creating something that led to a successful attempt to write a book. So although reading can be a source of inspiration and imagination for children, creative activities are a more enjoyable process of learning. Once again, it's article. Okay, so you definitely need to check your next piece of work for use the correct article. But more important, we need to figure out how to say the same with less. Okay, so let's just try it now. For instance, William Archer, a Nobel Prize winner, wrote that okay, so maybe we can just use a different example. Okay, one that would communicate the same but with just less words. So we could say, for instance, a study by Manchester University noted that children that 60% of children find reading boring. Let's see. And the idea of creating much more successful, and let's see, much more rewarding, okay, or something like that, but just something with less words in, okay, and a little bit more concise, but great writing skills. To conclude, from examples and the arguments given, I firmly agree that engaging in dynamic and creative activities can help children develop motor skills, boost their self-esteem, and learn how to express themselves, while reading is inferior in this domain of learning. Very good. In the future, even more emphasis will be dedicated to engaging in such activities. Excellent start. So very impressed. Let's just work on the word count for the next essay. And also, I don't want to sound like I'm threatening, but if it's over 260, I will just send it directly back to you, Vanessa. Okay? Because we need to get it into the style, into the habit of writing with 260 words. Let's go. Communication technology has enabled family members to communicate in a different way. It seems that they communicate less often, so we don't need the so there. Also, so sounds usually a little bit conversational. Okay? Do not agree. So, this is how we're going to reduce the word count as well. I want you to look at the end of chapters, because here we've got a negative construction and we can use a negative verb. What's the negative verb here? We can say, I disagree that communication is decreased within a family, or within the family. Okay? Can you see? I disagree, and we've managed to eliminate 2 words. Okay? And that helps us with the word count. This decrease within the family. It has only changed shape due to technological development. Okay, adjective here. It says they will analyze both issues and use examples from everyday life to demonstrate points and support arguments. Okay, if we're going to use this sentence, let's make it a little bit more specific. Okay, use examples from mobile phones and let's see, and the internet to demonstrate points and support arguments. Firstly, modern means of communication weren't thinkable 20 years ago, and they keep families even closer together today. Good. This is because they are easy to use, always available, and relatively cheap. Fantastic little list. Good. It is possible to be in contact with overseas relatives, call or send a picture from almost any place in the world. For example, mobile phones enable even young children to call their parents in any situation from school or from a school trip. Therefore, it is understandable how communication advanced and made families more connected. Fantastic. So here, we can delete this sentence. Alright? I can delete that sentence because it's going to push us over the word count. Alright? Let's carry on. Secondly, another breakthrough in modern communication was Wi-Fi. New technology also implemented internet into a phone, and the revolution of iPhones changed everything. So here, what is the... I've read 2 sentences, but it doesn't seem very focused. Are we going to focus all on Wi-Fi? Because that's what we've opened up with. So it does seem like we're going to start talking about Wi-Fi. So let's just delete this new technology. Okay? Also, it's not grammatically correct. New technology also implemented the internet into a phone, and a revolution of iTunes and a revolution of smartphones changed almost everything. Okay, hedging is something that I'd like to see introduced as well, and that's in the later chapters of the sentence guide. This is due to the fact that the internet became widely used by family members outside of a house or work on very affordable costs. Okay, for instance, today in every coffee shop Wi-Fi is free. No, today in almost every coffee shop Wi-Fi is free. Well, therefore, no comma, therefore, while drinking coffee, people can call or text to their family for free. Okay, so what could we say instead of repeating the word free? We could say without charge. Yep. To the family without charge, without charges, maybe. Once again, it is clear. We don't need once again. We could just say it is clear how communication technology created whole new dimensions for families to connect. Good. To conclude, from the examples, from the to conclude from examples and arguments given, you firmly disagree that there is less communication in families today because due to technology, communication has become easier and cheaper. Good. In the future, it is possible that new breakthroughs will provide even more ways to communicate. Fantastic work there. Absolutely.